But it's time to wrap up Higurashi Chapter 8, the finale. It's gonna be the last time you hear this opening, buddies. Enjoy.
School bathrooms are designed for urine, feces, and toilet paper, not semen. Due to excessive masturbation in our bathrooms, a pipe was damaged by a blockage caused by excessive semen. Masturbation in the school bathrooms is never okay. Do not throw away anything other than what is authorized. Repairs cost thousands of euros. The bathroom is still usable for now. If you are caught masturbating in the bathrooms, you risk a 6 to 7 day suspension.
Alright, sorry, I have to feed Dodi. They had almost too much energy left. It's been a long day and many things had happened, but they still had the energy to go to the festival. The final Watanagashi festival. It was, after all, the special day of Watanagashi. The curse of Oyashiro-sama had been lifted and no tragedy would ever occur again. It was the first peaceful Watanagashi, the first one without a tragedy since the dam conflict. The villagers had noticed that the phone lines were disconnected during the day, but it was fixed so quickly that they didn't pay much attention. They heard the self-defense force helicopter near the mountains, but rumor had it that they came to the wrong place for their training. The elderly villagers laughed and said that the young men of the National Defense Force need to pay more attention. Some people say the SDF even came to the idiot clinic. The villagers didn't even get suspicious about that. They assumed that the idiot clinic had started doing physical checkups for the SDF. There were pieces of broken glass on the roadside near the village border, as if there was an accident. Some people wondered how anyone could have had an accident when there was no obstruction on the road. The elderly people said to each other that they always had to drive carefully, even on a familiar road. But it looked like only a trace of a normal accident, so they didn't get suspicious. The rest was a ghost story. The villagers heard an extra firework to signal the festival taking place. It wasn't an echo. The people in charge of the fireworks were puzzled. But when Rika said Oyashiro-sama must have shot the extra firework, the villagers simply believed that was true. It was the night of Watanagashi, the biggest festival of the year. The villagers forgot their worries and enjoyed themselves. The club members were doing great as usual. Should I order pizza? Celebratory pizza party for myself? Get two! They were doing so great that they were all taken to the main tent and yelled at by the mayor. That was a normal Watanagashi night for the villagers, but there was one thing that was very different. The girls fought for an unimaginably long time in many different worlds for the sake of this night. However, nobody would ever know that. Oh, there was another big change too. Rika Furude said that she wants to go to a pool in the summer. It's unusual for her to say that she wants to do something. She wants to see the stars. She wants to go on a camping trip. She wants to look at the sunflowers. She wants to make the school into a haunted house, etc. There are so many things she wants to do over the summer break. Right, Rika Furude for the first time is making plans for after June 1983. Because this is the first summer break she's going to experience after 100 years of repeating the same life. She will now experience an all-new summer vacation. Who would stop her from getting excited about that? Rika Furude is looking forward to waking up before Satoko to rip the page off the calendar at the end of June. Rika Furude's infinite future has begun. There are infinite possibilities, yet she can only make one choice. But that's why it's a great world. Let's talk for a moment about the people who fought with Rika Furude. Mion Sonozaki has vowed to study hard so she can continue her education after the summer break. According to Keiichi, even that may not be enough time for her. However, how can the legendary club member or a club leader Mion Sonozaki fail an entrance exam? Can you calm down? The dog's got zoomies because he just ate. She will more than likely find a way to get into the school she wants to go to. Hopefully it isn't an illegal one. Anyhow, she's looking forward to enjoying her final summer break, so she has tons of plans. He's digging my pillow. The club members can't get away from Mion, even during summer. Once you're involved with her, she'll always find a way to get at you. No matter how much you want to be alone, you'll never go back to spending a boring summer by yourself. Keiichi Maebara has been asked by Mion and Chia-sensei to be their next class president. He was also asked to be the next club leader too, but he declined immediately. Keiichi likes the club because Mion runs it. He continues saying that it's Mion's club until she got mad. Keiichi can't understand why she's so angry. Well, Keiichi wouldn't be Keiichi if he wasn't dense. So things are rather lively around him again today. His good name continues to spread even in Okonomiya. Rena Ryugu is growing more energetic every day too. Satoko, Rika, and Hanyu spend every day in fear of being abducted by her. Still, she's been acting more mature lately. She takes care of her younger classmates and she's almost like a mother figure to the class. She is like a mother to all of the club members too. After hearing that, Keiichi said that he'd be a father for the class. As usual, Rena thought about that too much and blushed. Satoko Hojo is as lively as ever. She used up most of her traps on the mountain during the battle with the mountain dog, so she's setting up new ones for the next event. Rumor has it some members of the Bloodhounds were so impressed with her trap techniques that they asked her for some lessons. There's supposed to be a training area near Mount Fuji, and they asked her to set up her traps there. That's not a very good idea. The sea of trees really will become a forest of no return. Either way, Satoko keeps saying how she wants to fight against the Bloodhounds next. She's invincible. Also, she's become a great cook. That's because Hanyu has been teaching her. According to Hanyu, Satoko is a quick learner as compared to Rika. Satoko's dream is to master fried chicken, which is her brother's favorite, and welcome him home with it. I'm the only one who knows this, but her dream may come true very soon. As for her brother, Satoshi Hojo has yet to return home. His condition is unchanged. No. If there's been any change, it's in Shion Sonozaki. She goes to the clinic on her days off. Nobody knows why she goes there, but she seems to be very happy, so nobody pays much attention to it. Mion has teased Shion by saying that maybe she's planning on getting implants, but Shion just smiles. Also, for whatever reason, she's been visiting her relative's clothes shop and buying up all kinds of men's clothing. Lately, she's even started buying more than just men's clothing, but why is she so excited when she visits a clinic with a maid outfit that's not in her size? The truth is shrouded in mystery. The biggest change is probably that Shion babies Satoko nowadays. She tries to make Satoko call her Nini, which only annoys Satoko. Kyosuke Irie has two jobs now. On one hand, he is a respected doctor, and on the other, he is an evangelist for maids. Okay. The Irie clinic was supposed to be closed, but the villagers pleaded with the authorities not to shut it down. While Irie isn't originally from the village, he and everyone else feels that he's one of the villagers now. He's an indispensable part of village life. The conservative attitude toward Hinamizawa syndrome is gone, and now it is being researched very proactively. The syndrome is being researched so passionately that, hopefully in the near future, all the victims of this disease will be freed for good. Also, later on, Irie will publish an advanced article about the influence of the brain on human behavior, which will surprise people in the medical world. I won't go into details here, but it'll talk about how one should hate the sins instead of the sinner. The deceased Hifumi Takano and Mio Takano's names will be mentioned in that article. Jiro Toмотake still visits Hinamizawa every season. He is still known as the fighting traveling photographer, and he continues to walk around the village looking for good picture spots. However, he isn't seen in the village as much as before. His bicycle is always parked around the back of the clinic, so maybe he spends a lot of time there. Some villagers may, it's because Takano's, say maybe he's sick and being treated, but his bright smiles prove they are wrong. Mio Takano hasn't been seen since that day. Nobody knows where she has gone, but obviously Toмотake isn't worried, so she must be doing fine. She'll probably show up one day out of nowhere and start telling ghost stories to scare some kids. Takano's in the clinic. As for Mamoru Akasaka, what happened to him was pretty funny. His wife and daughter followed him in secret. They pretend... What are you doing, Tori? What do you want? They pretended to run into him at the festival. What? Rika called him Papa, so things grew complicated all of a sudden. What's up, buddy? Akasaka's wife smiled, but she choked his neck with her braided hair. Dog, you're such a needy little... You have an attachment issue, buddy. Yeah. Okay. Come on. Come on, Tori. Are you gonna sit down or just... Her arms were folded, but her braid moved like a tail. Squeeze. She tortured a man who's destroyed a special forces unit without even using a weapon. Rika continued to tease him. Oh shit. Making the situation even worse. However, Akasaka's family liked Hinamizawa and they said they wanted to come back. Todi. Either sit or what? You wanna fucking go, bitch? What do you want? What is this dog doing? I can't keep holding you like this. You're gonna fall. Oh my god. Why are you holding your hand out? Lay down, motherfucker. Oh my god, you're so fat. Okay, come on. Alright. Akasaka's daughter and Rika grew so close that they seemed like sisters. Karaudo Oishi has gotten back into playing mahjong. Stop licking me. For whatever reason, Akane Sonozaki has joined his table too, and there's rumors a riot squad almost got dispatched to mahjong parlor one time. His colleagues say Oishi has calmed down quite a bit. It's probably because he has reached closure within himself, but his colleagues know nothing about that. He's planning to move to Hokkaido when he retires, but he wants to come back every summer. His bright second life is waiting for him. Tatsuyoshi Kasai hasn't changed much compared to the others. To some people, this was a life-changing event, but for Kasai, it was just another episode added to his tales of heroics. According to Kasai, this incident was just a little bigger than usual. If this was just a little unusual, then what in the world would be needed to impress him? Shion insists that he will tell her, but Kasai only tells her that that's a secret. Also, he regretted exposing that part of his past. Shion keeps begging him to tell her all about it, but he simply ignores her. Let me talk about myself too. I, Hanyu, am doing great in my new life as Hanyu Furude. I'm finally getting better at playing games, and now I'm taking the role of the club's dark horse, a position formerly reserved for Keiichi Maibara. I have a bad habit of believing everything I hear, so Mion and the others always tell me some strange things. Thanks to that, I'm getting tougher, to put it in a good way. Shrewd, to put it in a bad one. But then, I need to, otherwise I wouldn't survive in this club. I'm going to continue to learn a lot of stuff through these club activities so I can live in this human world. Sunday, June 19th, 1983. Night falls on my longest day of the past 1,000 years. The club members are having a blast. A lot of people are here. The stall vendors are still doing business. The speakers are blaring rough yet exciting festival music. I've known all of these, but how wonderful it is to actually feel and hear them in person. I thought I knew. I thought I knew because I've been following and watching them. But that was completely different. I knew of it, but this is the first time I've actually experienced it. We had takoyaki eating contest. There was no octopus in it, but it was still very tasty. We had a shaved ice eating contest. I would have enjoyed the shaved ice if I had eaten it more slowly. I bought a candied apple for the first time. Everyone took a bite from it. It was tasty and it was fun. We played a shooting game. I didn't know how difficult it would be to shoot a target. It was fun too. Also, we played a shady lottery game. It was one of those things where you pulled a string and got a prize. Nobody got a good prize. We all complained about it to the vendor. That too was just so much fun. Then it was time for the dedication dance. Of course, we go there early, so we commandeered the best seats. I snuck out and stood where I was told to. I could see better than the other club members. This was the spot where the object of worship sat. This was where I was supposed to be during the ritual dance. No, this was where I thought I had to be. But seeing the dance from that spot wasn't fun. Therefore, I returned to where I was and sat with everyone else. They saved me a spot. Everyone rubbed my head while asking me where I went. I apologized by saying, ow, ow. That made me very happy. I watched the performance in the crowd of people. It was the best dance I've witnessed in the past 1,000 years. I couldn't keep either my happiness or my tears from flowing out. After the dance was over, a handful of cotton was passed around to all the villagers. We let the cotton absorb all the filth and sins of the past year and washed it down the stream. Cotton is cotton. Obviously, it's not human. We use cotton instead of a human so that nobody is sad. In other words, this is the way to purify sins without making anyone suffer.
はい、これ。羽生ちゃんの綿だよ。やり方わかる？わかりますのです。こうしてポンポンしてから流すのですよ。はんはん。
The girl who gave me the cotton took the letter I from her name during last year's Watanagashi and washed it down the stream. By doing so, she was freed from her suffering and began a new life. We drifted our sins down the stream. It's not the same as pushing our sins onto the cotton. Instead, we wash away our own sins and forgive ourselves. We forgive each other, we help each other, and that's how we create our own story. I put my cotton in the stream gently. Oh my god, new CG. Whoa! They look gigantic! Why do they look so tall? Oh, there is no old version. The cotton went down the stream into the world where sins are cleansed. I let my bare feet soak in the clear stream as I watched the long, long line of cotton flowing downstream in the dark, surrounded by people sending their cotton flowing down the wondrous stream. This is a complete world where all the fragments were put together. This is an ideal world. What else is there? What else do you need? Hanyu Furude still wants more, because we can be even happier than this. We can be happier if we wish to be. Not a long time from now, but in the near future. Then when is it? I told you it's in the near future. We'll be happy then too. See? No. Everyone is entitled to happiness. The difficult part is accepting that. Everyone is entitled to happiness. The difficult part is fulfilling that. I too am entitled to happiness. The difficult part is working because from now on I'm going to live a much, much happier life. I'm not going to compromise with just this. We'll retrieve all the happiness that we missed. 100 years worth for me, 1,000 years worth for you. A report on the coup d'etat of the Idiot Institute proposal. Regarding the coup d'etat of the Idiot Institute, background. One of the responsibilities of the Idiot Institute hereafter the Institute was the administration of the Emergency Manual 34. Certain personnel, however, conspired to execute the manual under false circumstances and accepted bribes to do so. These individuals included the Institute's sub-director Mio Takano and the first lieutenant Okanogi. Authorities of the Institute were detained immediately, and an emergency response unit was sent to attack the Institute and detained all the... Oh, bro! Oh, she's still at the Institute. Okonogi? Okay. Conclude within 3 years. After it's fully exterminated, shut down in the... Okay. Is this acceptable? If I may obtain your approval, I will... Nomura! Hey, this Nomura bitch didn't even get fucking punished! She got away with it! At the end of the day, she's still in power. Damn! I'm gonna miss the fuck out of Higurashi, bro. There's apparently an additional chapter, but I don't know how long that is. Still, chapter Ray is, I mean, how long is that?
Man, I gonna miss Higu. Thank you, Fob, for playing this masterpiece. Feels strong, man.
It's 4 to 5 hours. It's quite nice.
Who
But
says
what
you can't
is it?
just
Is it a
replay it
sequel?
really happy?
Verex, I think we're to 46. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Higu as well. Is it a sequel? Is it... I don't know what it is. Oh, it's a perfect future Hanyu was talking about? It's like a send-off, I guess, if I had to describe it. Do we do the epilogue? Higurashi Ray. You're talking about this, right? It's 2 to 4 hours long. Alright, I guess today's not the last Higu day, chat. Looks like we got one more day. Hey, Dumbledore, thank you for the 10 months. Looks like we shall have one more day tomorrow. Or maybe if we don't finish it tomorrow, the day after. There's a secret scene in chapter 8. How do I get the secret scene? How do I get the secret scene? Start a chapter without messing up the shards. It's annoying to get to, you have to enter all the fragments correctly in order. Okay. Whoa. The one and only tip. The forbidden treasure, Onigari no Ryo. It's the most valuable asset of the Furude Shrine that's kept in the ritual storehouse. In ancient times, when this place was a chaotic world of both humans and demons, this precious sword defeated the demon god. However, nobody has seen it for 1,000 years. According to the legend, it is sealed in the statue dedicated to Orishiro-sama in the ritual storehouse. Because of its structure, as long as the belief in Orishiro-sama continues, it will remain a forbidden tool forever sealed away. Also, it is only mentioned in the forbidden scrolls of the Furude Shrine. Therefore, only a handful of the Furude family heads have ever known about its existence. According to several of these forbidden scrolls, the sword is shaped like a willow branch. There are some ink paintings of the sword made by a few Furude heads, but none of them match that description. That means they drew those pictures from their imagination. The legend says that there was a girl named Oka who received the divine message that commanded her to defeat the demon god. However, neither the swords of humans or demons could conquer the demon god. It would require a blade that was neither a human sword nor a demon sword. Only a sword that mixes human and demon qualities could defeat the demon god. It has been said repeatedly that the ancestors of Hinazawa are half demon and half human. Oka Furude, date unknown, is said to be the first person whose blood was mixed in that way. This description is what conveys that. Heaven gave Oka a precious sword. The precious sword was shaped like a willow branch. Its tips split 3 ways, which symbolized heaven, earth, and people in unity. It also symbolized the harmony between heaven, demons, and humans. Oka headed to the swamp where the demon god hid and defeated him with this treasured sword. Each forbidden scroll describes how she defeated the demon god differently. Some say she disciplined him, some say he ran away, some say he surrendered. What happened to the demon god afterward is unclear too. The oldest scroll says the precious sword destroyed the demon god's horn, but other books don't mention that. The precious sword that defeated the demon god was then enshrined and was named the Onigari no Ryuo. Oka sealed this precious sword in the deepest place of the shrine to hide its existence forever. Even if it was created to slay the demon god, the sword didn't belong in this world anymore and shouldn't exist on the face of the earth. Some said that was why it was removed from the human world. But some said Oka was the daughter of the demon god and that she wanted to banish the sword that killed her mother. The ancient cult of Oishiro-sama suggested Oishiro-sama was this demon god. The source of chaos, the source of all that was evil, and the source of all fiction. To prevent the demon god from returning to the human world through worship and comfort is the root of that ancient cult. This may be the type of cult devoted to an evil god. This idea that it's not worship for protection but to stave off a curse links slightly to the modern worship of Oishiro-sama, but seems slightly distant from the modern worship that asks for Oishiro-sama's blessing and sees them as a god of marriage and good relationships. It fosters the argument that humans are good by nature, saying that all discord is the work of Oishiro-sama and there are no demons in the world of man. After that, the legend continues on to what we know today, the harmony of humans and demons. But in this era, all the scrolls on the origin of the belief in Oishiro-sama and the scrolls of the matriarch of the Furude family have been sealed due to being forbidden. That happened probably because the new image of Oishiro-sama, that of a loving and affectionate god, and the ancient image of Oishiro-sama, the source of all evil, didn't match. It became too difficult to explain the faith's doctrine. Also, if one believes the Forbidden Scrolls, the Furude family was descended from the one who killed her own mother. That would mean their blood was cursed. If all of that is true, then today's faith is very different from the one that was started by the matriarch. One of the leaders of the Furude family from hundreds of years ago wrote this: "The Onigari no Ryuo, the legendary precious sword, is a symbol of both the Furude family and the sins of the human world. It was an era where people pushed the source of their evil onto others and could only purify their sins by killing one another. The matriarch took in the root of all evil herself and let her child murder her. That was how this place was freed from the chaos. The matriarch usually means Oka Furude, but sometimes it means her mother. The notion that the matriarch was a demon god was a taboo among the Furude family. However, obviously, some leaders interpret it that way. When the Furude family, or when the world of man commits the foolish act of seeking to blame others and tries to return to the world of demons, that is when faith will disappear and the statue's head will shatter. That's when Onigari no Ryuo will reappear to us. The second coming will once again revive the memory of the Furude family's forgotten sins. Is a demon god a fictional legend or someone who actually existed? In some rare cases, babies were born with horns and they were called children of the demon god, descendants of the Furude family who will read this. The myths passed down by Forbidden Scrolls are numerous and their content vastly differs. But don't get caught up in the smoke. No matter how different all of those scrolls are, there is one thing they all want to convey. Search the heart of Oka Furude and the one who sealed the Onigari no Ryuo forever. That is the fate that all the Furude family leaders must understand. Okay. Yeah, let's hit up the staff room. Oh, wait, whoops. Oh, shit. Hello, this is Ryukishi07. Thank you for playing Matsuribayashi. No, thank you very much for playing Higurashi When They Cry Until the End. Matsuribayashi is, in a way, the solution episode for the situation with Takano and the kids starting from halfway through Minagoroshi. How can they defeat Takano's conspiracy? How can they reach their ideal ending? I wrote this episode as a duel between you, the reader, and me, the writer. So if you think you created a better resolution world than my Matsuribayashi, that means you've defeated Ryukishi07 in this duel. I, Ryukishi, have provided two resolutions. One is how to fight against Takano. first, here's a hint from Minagoroshi chapter. You find out about Takano's conspiracy, which relies on Emergency Manual 34. Next, here are hints from the Watanagashi and Miyakashi chapters. It has been 48 hours after Rika's death, yet the village is peaceful. If you put those two things together, obviously the basis of the emergency manual, which Hifumi Takano wrote, that everyone will develop terminal symptoms within 48 hours, isn't true. It's not, I mean, yeah, these are all kind of pretty obvious, right? Because remember in those worlds, chat, in a lot of these worlds, Rika did not actually fucking get killed by Takano. Like, one of the worlds, fucking Shion just fucking shanked her ass. Well, no, technically not. She slit her own throat, but, you know. So, like, but then even after that, you see the world go on perfectly fine, right? So, it didn't really matter that Rika was dead for 48 hours, so... when you put these two together, you can realize that if Rika's body was discovered 48 hours after her death, then it's possible to prevent the final operation. In the Matsuribayashi chapter, I wrote about an attacking side and a defending side like a novel. If I were to simply write about the resolution, all I had to write was for Oishi to announce that Rika died at least 48 hours ago and Takano's conspiracy would fall apart once the news reached Tokyo. This was rather an easy resolution like a puzzle, so I'm sure many of you got this right. The other resolution was the ideal ending for this world. To answer this, I have to explain the worldview of this story first. There are hints all over, but the crucial ones are in Tatari Goroshi and Minagoroshi chapters. Satoko's uncle comes home and Satoko's life becomes miserable. How can she be rescued from that situation? If this story was an exercise in murder, then the Tatari Goroshi chapter is the correct answer. Keiichi kills Teppei and hides his body well. There's a happy ending. But I didn't end the episode that way. Instead, I denied it with a bad ending. The resolution of the worldview of Higurashi when they cry advocates is a non-violent one, with everyone united together. That is established in question chapters such as Onikakushi, Watanagashi, and Tatari Goroshi. In those worlds, when someone becomes suspicious about everything and worries about it alone, things get worse, and that leads to tragedy. The Miyakashi chapter is the sublimation of that situation. On the other hand, when one talks to their friends, it's revealed that the causes of these tragedies are quite silly. That is indicated in the Sumihoroboshi chapter and Minagoroshi episodes. In other words, can you see that in the worlds of Higurashi, anything can be overcome when people talk to each other and help one another? Unfortunately, that doesn't happen in reality. Helping each other creates friction, and oftentimes working alone is a lot simpler. However, we always hope that we can connect with other people and understand each other so that we can face any difficulty. In that sense, this world is a fantasy. That's right. In the worlds of Higurashi, there is one magical rule. That is to talk to others and accept help from them. Then you can defeat anything. With that, it is possible to make a miracle happen. If that could be cast into an absolute rule, it would be a sort of magical, systematic miracle. Just like what Hanyu and her friends said in the story. That is the worldview of Higurashi when they cry. If you follow that rule and think about an ideal ending, I bet the first thing you'll think about is an ending where all the club members unite and defeat Takano. Actually, there are scenes in Matsuribayashi chapter that affirm that sort of ending. However, at the same time, Takano is described as a very lonely person. By doing so, I raise a question about the resolution. Everyone else unites, defeats Takano, makes her into a sacrifice. This is a happy ending for everyone except Takano. It is a very popular style of story for the protagonists to unite together and sacrifice the antagonist. Aliens come to Earth to invade us, so the world unites and defeats the aliens. Hooray for the humans, and we must all get along. It's a very popular storyline all over the world. There are plenty of stories that use aliens, devils, or monsters as clear bad guys and make them into sacrifices. Two parties fighting with each other become allies once the third party shows up. Storylines like these are indeed exciting, but adding a sacrifice, differing parties unite and become allies. To create the situation, there has to be always the third party to sacrifice as well. I'm sure many of those who created such stories must have already noticed. We always add a third enemy that can't possibly unite with us. To make up with each other, we try to find a common enemy. Am I the only one who feels that describes our world today? In reality, this world belongs only to humans. There are no aliens or devils or monsters. So for us to find an enemy, we'll have to fight each other forever. To make up with each other, we need a new enemy, so we just end up fighting someone else. In this chapter of Higurashi, I declare that to be the demon of the world of man. With these explanations of the worldview here in mind, do you wonder if the resolution of defeating Takano is in fact an ideal resolution of the Matsuribayashi chapter? That's right, it's basically the same foolishness found in Tatari Goroshi. According to that logic, the Minagoroshi chapter isn't the best resolution for the problems that surround Satsuko either. Do you understand that? How can they make up with Takano? You wouldn't suggest to make Tokyo into a new enemy and let the club members join with Takano, would you? If I continue to talk about this issue, I'll probably end up mentioning something religious, so let me stop here. What kind of ending would be the best outcome following the worldview of Higurashi when they cry? Perhaps it's something better than the Matsuribayashi chapter. So you can consider this a graduating question for Higurashi when they cry. Maybe I will leave it as my final gift to those who enjoyed this tale for 4.5 years. Thank you for reading this extremely complicated story. In the end, what was this all for? If I were to put the answer to that question in one word, it would be entertainment. It's not important if you were able to answer the riddles. After all, if you enjoyed yourself, you won. True. Ryukishi will continue to challenge you. Higurashi when they cry ends here, but I hope I get to see you again in a different world. What kind of work do I want to create next? Maybe it's fitting to choose my next work from an infinite number of possibilities while listening to the chorus of the Higurashi. I want to express my gratitude to all the people who have supported me until today. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Ryukishi. Alright. Very, very nice. We still have one more chapter, technically, with that epilogue, I suppose. Yeah, we'll watch the secret ending. Alright. Let's see here. What do I search for? Higurashi Chapter 8 Secret Ending? Is it secret scene? A girl's cheerful voice echoed in the house. It was a tenement house, so walls were thin. So, of course, her yell carried through the neighbors, but since it was a child's voice, nobody complained.
お父さんたちデパートへ行こうと思うんだが。
Oh, dude, I was actually thinking it would be something like this. When Hanyu had that whole speech at the ending, before the true ending, I thought when Hanyu stopped time and was talking to Takano, I thought the good ending that Hanyu was gonna go for was like going back into Takano's past and giving her a happy ending, so none of the events of Higurashi occur the way that it did. Right, so there is no Hinamizawa syndrome research. There is no Dr. Hifumi connection, and she just has like her own happy ending where her parents are alive. They don't go to the train station, right? I thought that would be what would occur, but it didn't happen. So like, I guess this is like close to that. If this dude was following Chainsaw Man, he would have said he knew the ending of it. No, bro. I literally thought this. Her father's voice didn't reach the girl because all she was thinking about was making a new secret base with her friends in the field. Her father knew the girl had been looking forward to going to the mall and that if they went without her, she would be upset. He also knew that the girl liked collecting flags from the kids' meal at the restaurant there, and one more would bring her a collection to 20 flags. The girl was making a wish on those flags, so she believed if she collected 20 of them, she could become happy. Oh well. He supposed he'd bring a flag home as a souvenir. It wouldn't be a big deal. If he asked a waitress, she'd bring one for him. On that day, due to an accident, the trains were running behind schedule. To make up for the lost time, Our time lost. Drivers were braking a little too late and accelerating a bit too soon. It was rather unsafe. The Tanashi family didn't own a car. They always used the train to go to the mall. This is why I said I felt slightly bad for Takano. Because her life kind of fucking sucked ass, you know? Like, in that context, I feel bad for her. Because her upbringing, her childhood, both her parents fucking died. She got put into an orphanage where they were literally waterboarding the kids and torturing them, you know? So it's like, yeah, Hitler's life kind of sucked too. No, it didn't. What do you mean? Hitler's life was not that bad. The fuck you saying, huh? As the girl skipped her way to her friend's house, an unfamiliar woman stopped her. Obviously, she wasn't from around here. The ties between the neighbors were very tight around there. The girl knew everyone's face. So if there was a stranger, it was either a new mailman or someone who's lost. The woman said to the girl,
行きたい死にたい
any person would think the woman was crazy asking something like this, but the girl was too innocent to think that way. She answered immediately.
行きたい
Oh, you know.
そうならお行きなさいどうせ行っても友達は留守だけどそれでもお行きなさい留守なの
Wait. Does she let Takano join her parents and die together with them instead? The girl couldn't figure out why this woman would know that. As the woman left, the girl stopped her. She was curious, although it was a little scary as to what response she'd get if she answered differently.
なら死にたいだとどうなるのお子様ランチの旗がもう一本手に入るわずるい私に内緒でデパートに行く気だずるいずるい
The girl turned and tried to run back home.
いいのね後悔はしないのね
The mysterious woman tried to confirm this.
なんで後悔するの教えないわ意地悪だから
The girl thought this was some kind of riddle, so she pondered it for a while, but she couldn't figure it out. Then she clapped her hands and she came to a conclusion.
大丈夫だよお姉ちゃんどうして大丈夫なの何があってもお父さんとお母さんが一緒だもん
Aww. The woman stepped aside. See, bro, how can you hate on Takano that much, you know? Like, if she didn't have such a shitty fucking life, you know, she wouldn't have ended up the way she did. Like, if you know, like, you gotta feel bad for her somewhat, you know? The girl bowed to her and ran home. She saw her parents locking the door to leave. The girl jumped on them and nagged them that she wanted to go too. The girl was going to the mall with her family. The family headed to the train station, waited for a train to arrive and got on it. The driver was feeling the pressure to make up for the delay, and the passengers could tell that from the way he was driving. The girl noticed the unusual swaying of the train. She stood on her knees and looked out the window. Her mother told her to sit down because it was dangerous. The girl stuck out her tongue. Then, the train reached a very big and very sharp curve. The train tilted in that direction and all the people were shoved to the side. They were all squished together and grumbled about it. Then the train continued too. The girl and her parents came home. Oh my god, happy ending. The girl and her parents came home under the sky full of stars with shopping bags in their hands. They unlocked the door, turned the lights on, and then the girl put her bags by the front door and ran into her room. She opened her desk drawer, took something out of her pocket and put it in. She closed the drawer once but opened it again and then spread her treasure on the tatami floor. They were the flags of many different countries that came with the kids' meal. The Japanese flag, the American flag, the English flag. Which country was this for? The one with 3 colors. There's a lot of them. She lined them up as she counted. She counted out loud. Then she danced around happily. For she now had 20 of them. It took her so long to collect that many. It was hard work for this girl who was so proud of herself for reaching her goal. She worked so hard that there must be something good waiting for her. She made a wish to become happy if she collected 20 of them. Therefore, something wonderful must be waiting to happen. The girl waited excitedly, but soon realized it wasn't a magic lamp, so no genie would be jumping out. Bro, she doesn't know the happy thing is her parents and everybody being alive. Maybe it wouldn't happen that night. Maybe it'd be tomorrow. The girl decided to wait patiently. She accomplished something as great as collecting 20 flags. Surely some wonderful happiness awaited. Surely some wonderful miracle awaited. Or perhaps it might be like a charm, keeping sad misfortunes at bay. The girl put her 20 flags back in the drawer. As she heard her mother tell her to brush her teeth and go to bed, she ran to the bathroom. This is fine, isn't it? It's okay to get a miracle in advance. What should I do next? There are plenty of fragments to play with. What? You want to try too? It's fun. It makes you feel like God. A world with Satoshi or a world where Sonozaki sisters didn't switch. I wonder what a world with Satoko's parents and Rika's parents alive and well would be like. Oh, how about this? Akasaka gets enticed to the enemy side by Takano. What? That sounds interesting. Personally, I'm curious about a world where Takano is madly in love with Tomitake. It'll be fun to match Keiichi with different girls too. I love drama very, very much. Hee hee. Let's see, what should I do next? I have so many fragments. Hey, do you want some? What kind of world are you going to make? The world of Higurashi when they cry will move on even without us. There are many dreams, possibilities, and miracles in that world. They are innumerable fragments and all interweaved with one another. I've shown you a small number of those fragments, but it's up to you to play with the rest of them. The world of Higurashi when they cry is now in your hands. It is a big, wide world full of fragments, and they are yours to manipulate. Your dreams, your possibilities, and your miracles are all yours to discover. I thank you for joining me on this 4.5-year tale about this world. I thank all of you who supported me during this 4.5-year tale of this world. I thank all the characters who brought this 4.5-year tale about this world to life. I thank my family who have given understanding for this world. I thank my coworkers who spared no effort for the sake of this world. I thank my friends who supported me during the creation of this work, and while I am the same person who created this work, I thank this work itself for the unforgettable 4.5 years it's given me. I thank the fact that I've left the legacy of the past 4.5 years of work. I thank all these people who send emails teaching me the joys of production. If I may leave you with one more piece, I leave you the joy of making a product of your own. I have nothing to show for 4.5 years I spent in college. I simply spent my days without achieving anything. I left no proof that I was even alive during that time. If you feel that the regret for this was that what drove me to make this work, then I think we can meet again as friends. That is why I leave you this message. I look forward to the day we meet, my friend. Ryukishi. So the game just ends if you somehow just match all the fragments correctly and just give Takano a happy ending, and then there is no need to do anything? Alright, damn. So what happens? You have to start again and like get the fragments wrong on purpose to like redo it, right? That is what is that? Oh no, I'm getting fucking. Oh no, I'm getting like goddamn Higurashi. Whoa! It's like I'm getting Higurashi shit now. Oh god. Well, Chad, tomorrow we pick up with Higurashi when they cry. Hooray! Ooh. Yes, sir. Bro, I've been listening to this shit on
Read
loop for
Koto
no
Higurashi
reason.
for official non-canon Hanyu backstory SWT yay.
Non-canon? Bro, that shit's non-canon. Alright, chat. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Like I said, today's a bit of an shorter stream. It's usually what happens whenever we have one of those 4:30 a.m. fucking live streams. I gotta fix my sleep schedule. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out as always. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna hit you guys with this shit.